subject them to a movie they didn't know ahead of time what it would be. And that takes tremendous courage. And thank you, Jeremiah Newton. Thank you. William Castle, one of the greats. I think he is channeling, William Castle is channeling me at this very moment. Thank you. Thanks, Jeremiah. Any other questions? Yes, sir, on the camera. What's your name? Jordan is here. That's right. Sorry. Nice to see you again.
I just kind of wanted to know, in your history of working, what's been the biggest hurdle in these productions? Do you think the hardest part is selling your own damn movie?
It's a good question, a very good question. What is the biggest difficulty now? The first book that I didn't write, James Gunn wrote, All I Need to Know About Filmmaking, I learned from the Toxic Avenger. This internet, the digital revolution hadn't occurred. And when I did Make Your Own Damn Movie, celluloid was still infinitely better than digital. But digital now has democratized the making of cinema. Anyone can make a good movie. You don't need the money anymore. You really don't need money. It wouldn't hurt to have it so you can feed your crew or maybe get some name actors or whatever. But you don't have to have money. You can make the movie of your heart and soul and dream for no money. But the problem is that, and the big change in the industry since I've been in it, is that the industry has become the American media has become consolidated. It is controlled by a small number of giant conglomerates, and the rules that used to prevent monopoly have been done away with. The rule that used to prevent the giant conglomerates from owning movie theaters, the consent decree of 1948, and Sarah talks about this in the book that I wrote. The consent decree of 1948 was done away with under Reagan. As a result, you've got the Thalia, the Regency, all the great repertory houses and festival houses, and the houses that played Troma or my movies. And my early movies sucked, and they would play them. The Thalia was where Battle of Love's Return began, an unwatchable movie, and yet the Thalia agreed to play it and they held it over, and the Times reviewed it, and I didn't have to blow people from the New York Times to get reviewed, and I wasn't put in the ghetto of this films in review thing in the Times. I was, even though it was my first movie, they reviewed it where it should be reviewed, and up there with any other movie. So times have changed for sure. The theaters are now owned and controlled by the giant conglomerates, and the rules that used to protect the public against monopoly on TV, namely the financial syndication rule, which required that the networks show 35% independent content, that's been done away with. And the fact that the networks aren't supposed to own content, that was also done away with on Clinton's watch. So as a result, what do you got? You've got now the first person they go to get a comment on the Tot Mom case, which is obviously the most important issue of Libya, the hell with that. It's all about the Tot Mom. The first person that the Today Show quotes, Kim Kardashian. What is her reaction to this verdict? And then it's some other reality person. But NBC, Universal, GE, since they can own the content, they go for the cheapest, crappiest, most. Anyway, that's enough of that. So I think that's the biggest hurdle. That it's very hard. You can make your movie, and that's wonderful. You don't have to go to California. You don't have to work within the system. You don't have to be part of the mainstream. You can make your own damn movie any way you want and come out with something that's pretty damn good. But how do you live off it? That's the conundrum. You may actually have to have you may have to have a day job or something. But that's kind of good. You can be an artist and be a teacher or a social worker or a nun, and you can make your own damn movies. You don't have to be part of the movie making system. Unless you want the Oscars, unless you want the big cars and mansions and drugs and hookers, and my wife won't let me have any of those, so I'm living in a refrigerator carton. But you don't have to. You can go to Hollywood and work through the system there, and then which you should, I guess, if you want an Oscar.
Oh, and they can buy your book.
Yes, you can buy my own damn book, and guaranteed to get you an Oscar. Is that the point? Oh.
And then they can sell the art that they
Oh Oh yeah, then well, that's what the purpose of this book is, to try to, I'm trying to show you how to get around the fact that Rupert Murdoch has got this bottleneck on what is considered independent art today, the so-called Sundance Film Festival. The only thing it's done right is it's got lots of New York State movies in it. But, I mean, those aren't, the New York State movies aside, which are like Shakespeare's Wife, beyond reproach. But movies that cost $20 million and are produced by the son of Tom Hanks with stars, that doesn't sound like independent movies. But that is what Sundance seems to be encouraging. So my book is there to teach you how to get around the bottleneck of this cartel, which runs not just the movie industry, but the way we receive and give news, which is a very sad state of affairs. And I have written extensively about net neutrality, not so much in this book, but I talk about it. But if you go to my Twitter or my website, there's a lot about net neutrality, because the internet is the last hope for us independents. It's the last democratic medium. And there's billions of dollars going down to Washington to lobby against net neutrality. The telephone companies, the MPAA, the Motion Picture Producers Association of America, are spending billions. I'm the chairman of the Independent Film and Television Alliance, which is a trade association of about 200. It's kind of ground zero. It's kind of the nucleus of the independent film industry. And we're spending $500,000 in Washington, and it's very tough. The net neutrality and I've written. You can see, if you go on the internet, you'll see some of my writings. But the House of Representatives just passed a rule or a law to get rid of net neutrality, to do away with it. The idea of their excuse is that it will lead to porno and piracy. And that's the exact same argument that Jack Valenti and the Motion Picture Production Association of America used when video cassettes came in. And they tried to throw a monkey wrench into new technology until they can screw it up, until they can take it over. They will try to put a monkey wrench in and then control it. And what the big guys and the phone companies want to do is have their own special superhighway, fast and easy for them, and then the rest of us will be on a dirt road that will take a long time to buffer, and kind of like, it'll be sort of like public access TV. Right now, Troma website has a huge following because it's entertaining and it competes with Disney successfully. If they get rid of net neutrality, your websites and Troma's websites and the Strand's website, and probably they'll manage to do it to your Facebook and your Twitter, we'll all be on this dirt road and hard to look at, and unless we want to pay extra money the way. But that's like saying you can go into the Regal movie theater here. Just walk in. All you got to do is pay extra money. Yeah, it's about open a movie in New York City at a Regal theater is $500,000 to $1 million. So it's going to be. We have to fight to preserve net neutrality. It's very, very important. Yes.
Hey Lloyd, Steve Levine.
Oh, Steve Levine. Hi. How are you, Steve? Very nice to see you. Thank you for coming here.
So if you're probably not selling your movies in a distribution deal to Netflix, what are the independents really using as a platform for distribution over the internet, and is there a successful way they've been able to monetize?
Well, the gentleman has asked about how one could benefit from the internet. You can sell your movies. The nice thing is you can make movies for almost nothing. So you don't need a lot of revenue, unless you want to do Cowboys and Aliens. You don't need a lot of revenue to break even. And the ways, obviously social networking, Troma does a lot of that. And I can show you an example of what we do on social networking side. We do some business with Netflix, but Netflix is moving the same way HBO, the same way the video industry moved. Netflix is becoming kind of a top 20 with their streaming. They're being very, very selective. And even though they have lots of Troma movies on Netflix and everybody thinks we're doing so great, we get nothing from them. It's an absolute breadcrumbs. They've just made a deal with the Miramax or Fox Searchlight or somebody for billions of dollars, and we get nothing from them, nothing. And on the streaming side, they're going more in the top 20. In other words, they're going more the way HBO goes, where the independent movie for them is Sony Classics rather than a Troma type company. By the way, there's another Troma celebrity here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Purple Pam is in the back of the room. Stand up, Purple Pam. Purple Pam has written music for Troma movies and has music videos featuring Toxie, and thank you for coming. And is in Tromeo and Juliet, among other. And Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. Yeah, you have a great cameo in that. Thank you. Let's look at, because I'm getting really boring here, let's look at, the point is social networking is great, and it's a way to advertise yourself, but you can't be boring. You can't, like I'm doing right now, don't do that. Don't sell. Give people something interesting to look at, amusing to look at, something that might get them to think and maybe have a laugh or be entertaining or be slightly changed in their emotional makeup. And then they will come back and they'll keep coming to you, and then they'll say, gee, this is fun. I'll go over to the Troma website and check out what they've got there. Oh, look at this, terra firma. I never heard of that. Why don't I buy it? And anyway, here's an example of something we put up on the internet. It has nothing to do with selling our movies, but it's been moderately successful in terms of people looking at it. And we thought of it during the 3D craze, where everybody I met, everybody in the industry, every big and small, and people pitching us, going to be a 3D movie. I know how to do 3D for no money, and I can make Toxic Avenger into a 3D movie, and whatever. So this was sort of our answer to 3D. First, there was Zoopraxiscope. Then came stereophonic sound. Next came 3D. And now, Troma, the studio who has brought you movies of the future for 35 years, brings you something so epic, so huge. Hollywood and its 3D movies will buckle under Troma's Cinema of the Mind. You actually have to use your brain. Yes, it's almost better than reading a book. It's Troma's Cinema of the Mind. It's better than Hollywood 3D movies. It's no D. Experience for the first time the most amazing experience that you'll ever experience, thanks to Troma's greatest new technology. Cinema of the Mind. Here's a sample of the most amazing new cinematic experience you'll ever experience.
Look! There's 5 million naked Roman soldiers crossing the Hudson River, armed to the teeth with mortar cannons!
Ah, look over there. It's 6 million kangaroos emerging from beneath the water. Armed to the teeth with the one thing Romans can't stand. Violins! We're saved! Yay! Yay! Yay!
Yes, it's Cinema of the Mind, Troma's breakthrough new technology that appeals to all your senses.
Oh my God! The aliens have mutated everything with the toxic mutating ray gun.
Cinema of the Mind. It's bigger than life itself.
The Empire State Building is growing legs. It's crushing everybody. Oh my God!
No! It's not crushing people! It's crushing aliens!
Here comes the robot army to defeat the aliens in the Empire State Building.
Alien vessel located. Alien vessel destroyed.
Yay!
Only Troma can bring you Cinema of the Mind.
Look, it's an orgy of blue people made from pure sugar, procreating in Central Park.